Mel Kiper Jr. belongs in the Pro Football Hall of Fame. This is a debate that I think has come up recently. I've been saying it every year for probably the last decade. So I'll give myself a pat on the back there. If he doesn't get one pick right, his contribution to the game of football is, I don't want to say unmatched, but as important as any in the game. What he has done for this time of year, what he has done for the NFL to make this draft an event, the notoriety that he has brought to these players. This is a traveling Super Bowl now. Think of the economic impact that the NFL draft has on each of these cities, whether it was Detroit last year, Kansas City the year prior, Chicago, Philadelphia, and everywhere in between. That's Mel Kiper. He has done that. It's his baby, and without him, there is no NFL draft in Detroit. I firmly believe that. Without Mel Kiper, there is no draft in Green Bay. It's probably still in New York. It is discussed and talked about, and maybe somebody comes along the way 15 years ago, 20 years ago, and tries to make it something. But to have a 40-year head start on something and really create it, I think is incredibly worthy of recognition in the Pro Football Hall of Fame. 29, according to my research, so forgive me, this number may be plus or minus a few, 29 contributors in the Pro Football Hall of Fame. Chris Berman is one of them.
Chris is in?
Chris Berman is
for him.
In the Howard Cosell.
Oh, of course.
John Facenda is in.
He's
the voice
of
NFL films.
Harry Callis,
nice.
I bet.
Nice. That's a good one.
I don't see Harry Callis on here.
He was the voice of the weekly NFL.
Yeah.
Plus, he did the Phillies and Eagles.
Now, some owners are like Bud Adams, Rooney,
Mara,
Virginia McCaskey. Art Rooney, as you mentioned, Doug Williams, first African-American quarterback to win a Super Bowl, later an executive. But he was a player too. Amy Trask, former CEO of the Oakland Raiders. I mean, there are contributors, but what more contributor to the NFL over the last 40 years that you think you can come up with other than Mel Kiper?
I'm so on your page. And just to remind everybody, when the draft was on television back when ESPN was born in 82, 83, it was on a Tuesday morning. Then they moved it to a Thursday morning. And they basically did the entire draft in 2 days. And it was on like 9 in the morning. That's when it started. And it went all day long. And now look at it. It's a behemoth. The first round is on a Thursday night. The next 2 rounds are on a Friday. And then they wrap it up on a Saturday. It's a 3-day event. Like Ryan said, it's a traveling circus. How many people were in Detroit? How many people went?
700,000+.
Not bad. And we put on a hell of a show. And we got good weather, thankfully. And I hope Green Bay has the same weather as we did. And then the following year, it's in the Steel City. It's in Pittsburgh. It's going to be great there as well. It's really great. Coming to a guy that lived in Jersey and New York, I always liked it in New York. I went to several, I told you. I even went to a USFL draft. But it's great that it's traveling. It deserves to travel, especially to the cities like us that probably aren't going to see a Super Bowl anymore.
The point.
Green Bay is not going to see a
Right.
Super Bowl. Chicago eventually will see a Super Bowl when they have an indoor stadium. But, I went to the only outdoor winter Super Bowl, and I got lucky. It was 50 degrees in Jersey that day, and then it was a blizzard that night. We lucked out that Jersey Super Bowl. That's when Seattle ran Denver right out of the gym. So Mel Kiper, I love him. I don't watch NFL Network. I watch ESPN because of him.
Pete, if you can't get that, not a problem at all. I just randomly came up. I had a surprise for you. You're talking about Mel Kiper. This was from some time ago. Kiper's words said about me. And then the more you just see what he does, Maz broke it down in terms of how he broke the draft down when he first started, all the homework, all the research, all the scout, all the information that he was able to give the front offices. Now teams are able to draft better players. Now teams are able to make better, look at the Lions draft over the last 4 years. that started with Mel Kiper and providing that information. So when you look at that, he has really changed the landscape of a lot of franchises with the way in which he's gone about scouting players, giving information about players. I still remember Mel Kiper Jr.'s Blue Book. Like, you get the Blue Book.
I was just going to talk about that.
The Blue Book comes out before the season starts, and then the Blue Book comes out in January as you get ready for the NFL draft.
Got you, Bray.
I was on. Oh, you got it? Here we go.
You.
Play it, Pete.
Oh, it's playing for them. Hang on.
And in that division. No question about it. You look at Braylon Edwards, and it may sound like I've been bashing Bray. It's not the case. I had to separate Mike Williams and Braylon Edwards. It was a hard call. I went with Mike Williams. He's still on the board. Braylon isn't. He's a Cleveland Brown. He's got Kellen Winslow, tight end. Now you add Braylon Edwards to that mix. You look at a kid, 6'3", 210, big, competitive, works hard. He's a great kid. I had a chance to talk to he and his father, Stanley Edwards, here in New York. Loves to play the game, works at it hard. And you talk about some of those drops. It's like a home run hitter. You're going to get strikeouts, but you'll get home runs. You'll get a lot of touchdowns with Braylon. When do those drops occur? Are they drive killers? They drop one in the red zone. Where do they occur? Are they inconsequential drops? And he dropped them inconsequential. I remember that Ohio State game, huge effort with 10-plus catches. But the key drop when they were getting momentum, Michigan was get back in the football game around midfield.
Let me get that. Let me get that.
Never sees the opportunity to get back in that football game. And I think if Braylon can increase the concentration level, it's not about hand-eye coordination.
Hey, man, that's that guy
area.
Tracy Porter. The fumble, the onside
He is
kick.
unmatched in that area. It's about concentration, and he knows that. I'll tell you, he's not defensive for you about criticism. He handles criticism well. You bring it up with him. He doesn't challenge and say, no, you're wrong. He says, I know. I got to work on that. It's about concentration. And a receiver for him.
I appreciate Mel Kiper because
That's awesome.
he that part at the end where he says he appreciates criticism. He's a liar. I don't. But I was able to lie in that space with him. I was like, oh, okay, yeah, I'll work on that. Man, who the hell is he to say I'm dropping passes? Now I'm 42. He was right. There were some times you drop some passes and mental lapses, but he does a phenomenal job, and he is the NFL draft, and the NFL draft is the NFL. So, Ryan, I agree.
And think about all of the
Pete, hell of a job, Michael.
I
Good job,
appreciate
Pete.
it, buddy.
Didn't he have it out with your dad?
Well,
He did.
That's
He
the
did.
part. That's the part that I thought was funny. If you noticed that, he's like, I had an opportunity to talk to him and his dad Stanley, and if you know the story, that is
ESPN
classic.
Zone. ESPN Zone, man. My dad, because Mel Kiper, what did he say in the beginning? He chose who?
Mike Williams.
He
over
chose
Braylon
Mike Williams.
Edwards.
So then when my dad saw him, we were coming out of ESPN Zone. Mel Kiper was coming in, and he stopped Mel Kiper. He said, so you think Mike Williams is better than my son? My dad runs
he
through.
LeVar Ball.
He's this, he's that.
I'm talking about our Mike Williams?
I'm like, no. Mike Williams from US. Yes. From US.
Chubby?
Yes.
Chubby.
But this is in the draft. This was like USC Michigan.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, so
Oh, God.
that's good times. 20
Is
years
that
20
great
years
or
ago.
what? But think about
Sheesh.
all of the careers that he's kind of made. I mean, like all the other draft gurus that
He's
are
hurt some careers too, though.
employed but I'm just talking about
Oh, yeah.
the draft gurus themselves. Every network has a draft guru.
Ian Rappaport,
Some
Tom McShay.
networks have 2 draft gurus. Some have 3. I mean,
Don't you remember Bill Tobin? The
oh,
general
well, that's
manager of the
that's
of
almost
the
what
Colts?
made him. Yeah.
Oh, my God. Him
Who the
against,
hell is Mel Kiper?
Who the
And-
hell's Mel Kiper? My postman knows more than Mel Kiper. It was an awesome spiel, if everyone remembers that one. Bill Tobin against Mel Kiper. He has pissed off
God.
a lot of people.
Well,
as Braylon said.
and if you understand the undertone of that, who in the hell is Mel Kiper? Mel Kiper, from Baltimore, still lives in Baltimore. Pissed that the Colts left Baltimore and moved to Indianapolis, so he had a little bit of a personal axe to grind against the Colts organization as well for leaving his city. Fun fact about
The more you know.
Mel Kiper, he has never used an ATM card.
Come on.
Really?
Yep.
Where the heck did you
That's
find
classic.
that
Goes
out?
to the bank and gets
That's
cash.
awesome.
He goes to a person. That's
Yeah,
wild.
goes to the bank and gets cash.
Mel knows he's got
Fantastic.
a lot of money in that ATM.
Yeah,
Ri-
absolutely.
Rich people don't have debit or checking cards.
There you go.
Man, putting him with Al Michaels.
Man.
Does
Can't
Al
build
Michaels,
interest.
does he
Right.
vegetables?
There's nothing that helps them with checking and
Yeah,
credit.
I was
debit.
just thinking like back in the day he would need to get some cash, but
Right.
he probably just get
Hey,
it. like-
Tom,
He's
what
just
happens if he
old
needs a
school,
bank
walk in the
account?
bank. He got the slick back, got the glasses, got the Italian
Bosco,
suit.
Right? They
Let
know
me,
when he
uh,
come
What
in.
happens if he needs fast
get 50
cash to
cash.
save his life?
Bosco.
Bosco.
While we're talking about Mel Kiper, can we just take a look at his draft, which is becoming a likely scenario now? And Cam Ward expected to go number 1 to Tennessee. That almost feels like a lock because there's nobody else to trade up for to get. It almost is certain now that Cleveland Browns are going to select Travis Hunter, the wide receiver cornerback from Colorado. So you get him in Cleveland. Maybe you get your quarterback by way of Kirk Cousins or somebody else. But it almost feels like a lock.
I'm
Cam
telling you
Ward,
why. They're not taking him.
You don't think they're taking Travis
They're taking
Hunter?
a quarterback. They are taking a quarterback.
Think they're taking Shedeur Sanders?
I don't know, but they're taking a quarterback.
Who is Travis Hunter? Like, if the Cleveland Browns select Travis Hunter, who the hell is going to throw him the ball if he plays wide receiver?
agree.
And then on defense, because a lot of people actually have him as a DB over wide receiver. They have the second expensive DB in the league, and Denzel Ward. And then number 2, Newsome is not a bad DB as well out of Northwestern. So
He was their number 1 last year.
And you still got Greedy Williams. So that just sounds interesting.
I'm telling you, Ryan, they're going to shake it up. They're going to be back-to-back quarterbacks, back-to-backers.
But this is but Ryan,
I don't hate it.
No. This is what happened with me. The Cleveland Browns were that team. The Miami Dolphins. They were that team. The Miami Dolphins, they were picking. As a matter of fact, they were picking 2.
Yep.
The Miami Dolphins told me they came to pro day. They had Nick Saban at the time. Yes, that Nick Saban. Nick Saban at the time, he's there. Whole team came. Steve Ross, who owns the Dolphins, was there. Private jet. They talked to him. I talked to him. It was in the media. It was everywhere. Braylon. They drafted Ronnie Brown, and I ended up going to the Cleveland Browns. So you know the game. This could be part of that.
It could be in this draft. New England is spot at 4 too. That they're obviously hoping that Abdul Carter, or Travis Hunter fall to them at 4. Not sure if that's going to happen or not. If that, they need Shedeur Sanders to go top 3. If that's the case, they're going to take an offensive tackle according to Mel Kiper. If they don't, Ashton Gente. 6 to the Raiders. I think Genty would be incredible for the Patriots.
Did you hear the other sidebar to that? If he slips past the Raiders, supposedly our guy with the New York Football Jets,
Oh boy,
Aaron Glenn,
is going to take Genty, and they're going to trade Breece Hall.
Breece Hall?
Yep.
Oh, because they still have Braylon Allen too.
Yep.
So they will have
Breece Hall is on the
I
block.
like Braylon Allen.
I agree with that.
He's on the blocks.
Because he tore his ACL, but then it was some friction last year. There's a lot of friction
He
in the
wants to
locker
run
room.
it. He wants to run it like the Lions.
Yeah.
Genty is his Gibbs. He wants to run it like the Lions.
So then you help your quarterback out.
Yep.
Oh, I like it.
And speaking of quarterback in this mock draft, he's got Shedeur Sanders sliding down to 9 with the New Orleans Saints. Yep. By the way, Mel Kiper has Shedeur Sanders as his top-ranked quarterback above Cam Ward. He loves this kid. Thinks, and man, forgive me if I get this wrong. I could have sworn
I heard some of it. So
I heard Kiper say that Sanders and Travis Hunter are going to be Hall of Famers. He thinks this highly of these 2 players. Wow. And just loves this kid Sanders and, of course, Travis Hunter.
This is what I appreciate about Mel Kiper Jr. Everybody saw Shedeur Sanders for the past 3 years. Analysts, fans, the novice, randos, as y'all like to call them. Everybody has seen what Shedeur Sanders has done at the collegiate level, whether it was at Jackson State, whether it was at Colorado. You saw him. You saw passes get to where they needed to get to. You saw the stats. You saw the numbers. You saw the comebacks. You saw everything that you needed to see during the season. You saw it at a small school, then you saw it at a Power 5 school. But then when the draft came about, oh, well, it's this, it's that, let me see this. Now, and that's what Mel Kiper was saying. Now that he's throwing in a T-shirt and shorts, all of a sudden you're pointing out flaws in the game. But when there was shoulder pads, a helmet, and he was on that field, he was locked in, there weren't any questions. And all of a sudden there's questions to drop him into the double digits, maybe even past that. Man, get over yourself. And that's why I appreciate him still ranking him that way. And the same thing with Travis Hunter. Travis Hunter didn't even participate in pro day fully. He was only there to run a couple routes, just show his face. but help his boy Shador out. He didn't even run routes seriously. Didn't even strap his gloves up. Didn't even tie his shoes up. Old school Denard Robinson. And you know what they said? Routes don't look that good to me. He doesn't look that fast to me. He doesn't look like he's really pipe down. All you got to do, and that's what you'll start seeing, is people not doing pro day, people not doing combine. Only reason why Shador Sanders did combine, Ryan, is because he knew if he did combine, he said all the people at Colorado would get a look because all the teams would go out and see him. You're going to start seeing kids. You got tape. That's why I didn't run at the combine. I mean, I did pro day, but I didn't run at the combine. You got tape. 4 years of film of me in Ann Arbor going against Ohio State. You don't need all this other film. They're going to get rid of that soon.
You got anything on that, Maz? You good?
I'm good. I like the Saints taking a quarterback. I had spoken about that last week.
Boy, that's
to
a
you
crappy
guys.
organization, isn't it? Doesn't that feel like a crappy organization?
I don't like the Saints.
You know,
They're not in the best
like
of shape.
No.
Let's leave it at that.
they feel like a bottom 6 organization in the NFL right now. That's what it feels like. Bottom 6.
They still have a Super
agree.
Bowl to their name, though.
No, sure, I understand that. I'm just talking about like if you're a quarterback team.
I know,
wanna
but
go to
doesn't
the
that
Saints.
suck when you're talking about them?
Yeah,
But they still have a
Right.
Super Bowl
Yeah.
championship.
Drew Brees.
The Lions in this mock draft. Donovan, I don't
Good
know
luck.
how to. Ezeranic, yes,
Ezeraki.
him. Outside linebacker, Boston College.
Jerry
The needs are the needs.
Look at that great graphic Ryan Lentz put together.
Look at the lens. Let's go. The needs are the needs. 21 on the big board. My guy, who I really like, James Pierce, the outside linebacker from Tennessee, going 32 to the Eagles.
Of course. Whatever they take, it will work.
Right. There's no doubt.
How about this? They got Jackson Dart, the quarterback, going to the
Rams. Right.
Oh,
And
interesting.
then back-to-back quarterbacks to start round 2. 33 and 34. Tyler Show, quarterback from Louisville, 33 to the Browns, and then Jalen Milroe, 34 to the Giants.
Did you hear about Milroe?
No.
He got invited to the big
that.
dance. He got invited to the draft.
Really?
He's going to be in the green room. So that second-round pick, he's going in the first round. He is going in the first round. Just like Baltimore moved up that year to get Lamar Jackson, someone's going to move up and get that kid.
It's still gonna be interesting how they use him. I don't want to be NFL exec that says, "Oh, this guy has to be a wide receiver, running back." But I'm still very curious to see what is the progression of Jalen Milroe as a quarterback in the NFL. I want him to have success, but when you watch the games, they weren't very enticing on to what he could be. It was a lot of running the ball. You know, he was, for lack of a better word, he was more of a running back than a quarterback. So if someone did take him, I would be interested to see how are you going to use him. Like, is it just quarterback or is it slash? Good call,
Cordell
man.
Stewart.
Cordell Stewart
Nice.
came out of Colorado. Like,
Yep.
started off as a quarterback, punter, running back, wide receiver. Eventually got to a place where he was a Swiss Army knife, not a quarterback. So I just want to be interested. How will the team use?
Can you
Jalen
imagine
Milroe?
at 28 that the Lions take him and just pair him with on the other side of J-Mo? It's just a dumb statement.
Right.
But those are the only sub 4.4 guys. I mean, speed kills, right?
Incredible.
Braylon says it. Speed sells.
Jalen Milroe,
direction.
I've never liked him.
Yeah.
I've never liked Jalen Milroe. Michigan beat him twice, so I have seen him.
Can I say something? And I don't want to take a shot at my university, but I'm going to say something. If Jalen Milroe would have been a good quarterback, we would not have won 2 years ago.
You're probably right.
Alabama, Michigan. Like, if he was a better
Well, yeah,
quarterback,
they
we
score
wouldn't
late.
have won.
They score late
You're
in that game.
probably right, and maybe even a lot earlier too.
And-
I
Yeah.
mean, you're probably right.
But can a kid get better?
But he didn't, though, and that's the thing.
So why do they like him all of a sudden?
Because he's dealing with the same thing every draft has, no quarterbacks. And he has an upside. He went to Alabama. He was coached by Nick Saban. He runs 4.3. He's a great kid. He's very humble. I met him in New York at Madison Square Garden in December. He's a great kid. All these things start mattering when you're like, who are we going to – it's nobody to draft, but people need quarterbacks. People need players. So he'll get a shot for sure. He'll get a shot for
And to be honest with you, just for full disclosure, I don't like either of these quarterbacks either. I don't like Cam Ward. I don't like Shedeur Sanders. Just for the record, I mean, I've said that a million times. I just don't think either of those guys are 10, 12, 14-year starting quarterback, franchise quarterbacks. I feel about those guys, not so much Cam Ward, he's much bigger, but I feel like there's a lot of Bryce Young here. I feel like, and Bryce Young is improving, but in the next year or two, Carolina's going to replace their quarterback. I feel like I just don't like either of these guys at top of the draft.
I don't respect or trust the ACC as it relates to quarterbacks. I know that there's outliers. There's Deshaun and there's Lamar. I don't trust the ACC as it relates to quarterbacks. I think Cam, he's a young man, so I won't say anything about him. I just don't trust it. Shedeur, right system, I think Shedeur could be something special with the right system now.